Hey guys, Katie Nolan here. The Garbage Time Podcast is coming your way in just a second. But first, today's pod is brought to you by producer Matt's Underpants.
Oh, it sure is, Katie. We're going to talk about Mack Weldon, longtime sponsor, friend of the podcast. It's better than whatever you're wearing right now. Again, not you, Katie, but you,
again,
listener.
Not wearing any.
Super comfortable. This is so fun for me. So, why aren't you wearing Mack Weldon, guys? It's the most comfortable underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, and sweatpants you will ever wear. It's hoodie season. I'm pumped to bring back the gray hoodie. Very famous around this office.
Really famous hoodie.
Yeah. Wear it all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe too much.
Yeah, I was going to say something. But then again, because Mack Weldon is, antimicrobial, it never smells, so I can't tell.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like you took that talking point right out of my brain.
It did.
Their clothes, they never smell. The fabric eliminates odor. It's great. You can wear them to the gym. You can wear them to the bar. You can wear them to work. Wear them anywhere.
To bed.
Yeah, you could. They're very comfortable.
Yeah, and because they want you to be comfortable, if you don't like your first pair, you can keep it, and Mack Weldon will still refund you, no questions asked. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using promo code GARBAGETIME, all one word, no spaces, at checkout. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code GARBAGETIME, all one word. All right, let's do this. Guys, welcome to the Garbage Time Podcast. I just forgot the name of our podcast. I'm Katie Nolan. That's my name. This is producer Matt.
Katie, I thought I might be Katie Nolan.
This is Katie
Nolan,
Nolan, and I am producer Matt.
Got it.
One of those is right. How are you doing today, producer Matt?
Doing very well.
Yeah?
Doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing all right. We had a good show last night, I think. Things went well.
We did.
Had a little bit of a heavy A block, but
Yes.
then we did like the goofiest B block of the show I think we've ever done. I said the word slut. I didn't know I could say the word slut. We were in the middle of filming the B block, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't going to make it to air, so I'm just going to say the most ridiculous shit. And then they were like, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
we're
that's
going to
good.
go with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Lesson there.
It's a
Push
little
that
bit
button
of
more.
peaks and valleys on
Yep.
Garbage Time last night.
It was.
But we're going to do things a little bit differently today because we've got Nate Burleson coming in. Nate Burleson, who currently you can see from 7 to 10 a.m. on NFL Network, the show Good Morning Football.
Great show.
Also, great show. Features our friends of the show, Peter Schrager and Kay Adams, and Kyle Brandt, who is a friend of the show but has never done anything for the show, which is kind of fucked up. Like, he's a friend. Like, I've talked to him on the phone. Like, we tweet at each other sometimes, but like, I'm not comfortable calling him a friend of the show because you've never been here, Kyle.
Yeah, friend of a friend of the show.
Yeah,
for now.
exactly. He's like an acquaintance of the show.
Can I quickly just go back to last night's show and just commend you on your A block? I thought it was very
I'm not taking
courageous
compliments at this
and important to say.
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure that if people haven't seen it yet, you should go online and check it out.
Wow.
It's really good.
Thanks,
Really
Matt.
good. Seriously.
You're being genuine right now. It's
I am
freaking me
being
out.
very genuine.
Thank you.
I care about your A block and underpants. That's
that's
sort
what
of
I'm
my
here for.
that's my wheelhouse.
I'm here to talk A block and
That's
panties,
right. Yep.
and that's it.
People should check it out though, seriously.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an interesting one. It was more just like a get your shit together world.
Yeah,
which
world.
seems to be my
Listen,
running
world.
thesis. Get your fucking shit together. Not asking much. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have Nate Burleson come in and we're gonna do Fade That Pick with him.
Yeah.
He can't actually do any picks because he works for the NFL. So we're gonna still do the picks, but he's gonna talk and inform us on our picks.
Yep.
And then I'm still gonna get him wrong, I bet.
Probably.
Because I'm just stubborn.
Same with me. Yep.
I'm just stubborn as fuck. And while we're commending each other on things, the cold open of the show last night, we did a Stranger Things parody that was the brainchild of this lovely producer here to my left. It's producer Matt, if you're not watching. He's the only producer here. And it was fantastic. It was fun. It was cool. Our editor, Justin Kroll, absolutely crushed the garbage
guy
time
over there,
thing.
Mr. Schwachter.
And I guess Schwachter kind of did stuff, but like, I'm just kidding. Dan Schwachter's the man. It was cool. I love when we do stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was really sweet. And the only downside is I like that version of our theme song better.
So good.
Yeah.
Kind of mesmerizing.
We did like a slowed down 80s Stranger Things intro music version of the Garbage Time intro, and it's dope.
It's really
It's like
cool.
a trap beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that, go online and see it before the A block, and then go watch the A block. And then watch something fun, because you're going to be a little sad. Let's not waste any more time. Before we get into Fade That Pick, though, we got to talk about SeatGeek.
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek, which is, for those of you who are new here, SeatGeek is the first place I go to look for tickets to a game or concert. For instance, I saw Louis C.K. a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Producer Matt was there as well. I found those on SeatGeek. What up? And the reason that I like SeatGeek so much is because everything there is designed to make life easier for sports fans and music fans. They do all the price comparisons for you, so you don't have to open multiple tabs and compare all your prices and stuff. They pile it all into one place. They search multiple ticket sites and ensure that you get the best possible deal. They do all the work, and you save time and money. They also help you get the most bang for your buck. Every ticket on SeatGeek is given a grade based on its value. So it may be more expensive, but it's still a better value than a cheaper ticket, and that's a really cool thing to know and not have to beautiful mind that yourself. And you'll immediately see what tickets are underpriced, and you can find the best deals that fit your budget. And best of all, of course, my listeners get a $20 rebate on their first SeatGeek purchase. So to get your $20 rebate on tickets, download the SeatGeek app, which you should have done by now, guys. If you haven't done it, push pause on the podcast, download the SeatGeek app, and we'll wait.
We'll be here.
So once you do that, you go to the settings tab and click add a promo code, enter promo code Katie, Katie. Again, things you should know.
Yeah.
SeatGeek will send you $20 after you've made your first purchase. Download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code KATIE today. One more, guys. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Rhone. Rhone is a new men's activewear company that uses the most innovative fabrics on the planet. They build clothing around three main tenets: performance, comfort, and style. Three very important things. I don't need my clothes to care about anything else. They're very versatile. They look great at the gym, and they're comfortable to work out in, but you can also wear them out to the bar and know you look great and get hit on. That'd be dope. They also use a technology called Silver Tech that fends off odor-causing bacterial growth for the lifetime of the garment, the whole time. That means that old shirt that stinks up your gym bag, no mas. Adios to that shirt. This one won't smell. You got clothes from them, right, Producer Matt?
I did, yes.
Isn't that nice? Producer Matt just keeps getting clothes.
Just do this for the free stuff.
So many clothes for you.
Rhone's clothes are really awesome. I got a pair of shorts from them. They're like my favorite shorts now, even though I stay in them and need to get more. Hoodie.
With food.
They've great stuff.
Food. He's cooking.
Yes, it was. It was oil.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really love their clothes. I hadn't heard of them until they sponsored us, and their clothes are awesome.
Yeah, that's dope. So visit Rhone. That's RHONE.com/garbage time. And right now they're offering our listeners an inside deal for 15% off your first order when you enter code garbage time, all one word, no spaces, on RHONE.com/garbage time. So go to Rhone.com/garbage time and then add code garbage time, all one word, no spaces, for 15% off your first order. Rhone, made for men, fit for kings, shilled to you by queens. What up? All right, let's fade that pick. All right, we're going to fade some picks. This week, we're doing things a little bit differently because we're joined by special guest Nate Burleson from Good Morning Football and NFL Network. Hello, Nate.
Hello. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We normally in this segment, we talk about 3 games, and then Matt and I pick against the spread. We don't want to get Nate in any trouble with the NFL, so he's not going to make any picks, but he can help us be smarter. But everyone who's listening should still probably fade my pick. Last week, I went 1-2. I'm 1-7 overall.
Let's catch this fade. Let's do this.
And I'm 0-1 on my lock of the week. So continue to not
the segment's working.
Pick the opposite of what I pick, but listen to Nate's expertise.
All right, let's do this.
All right, Ford, what's the first game?
First game, obviously, Katie, Houston at New England. Mm-hmm. Houston's favored by 1. Big story, of course. Jacoby Brissett getting the start for New England.
Right.
Pretty good defense. What's going to happen?
Nate, I'm a Patriots fan. Let me just tell you that before you go into
I did my research on you.
Say. Oh, did you?
So I did my homowork before I showed
What's
up.
my favorite color?
I'm going to go green.
No. I'm wearing a green shirt.
Good guess.
That was a good guess.
Guys are very straightforward. No, my guy Tim Brown told me a little bit about you. I'm like, what am I walking into? He was like, she's amazing.
Aw, Tim.
No, he didn't say that, but he did say you're a Boston fan. So you're a Patriots fan. So you're going with the Patriots.
I don't know. So the last 2 weeks I've picked against the Patriots, and I've been wrong.
Yep.
And so, but I don't know. It's really strange. I don't understand, and maybe you can give me some insight on, like, how do you prepare for a quarterback who's making his first start and it's on a really short week? Like, what's going on in New England right now?
This is what Houston will do. They're going to prepare in a way that's a little unorthodox. There's not much film to go on as a professional, so they're going to look at some of his old footage from college, which is strange, but they'll try to get an idea how he handles pressure and what he looks like in the pocket. where he likes to go through in his progressions, what foot he throws off of when the pocket collapses. So they're going to have an idea of what he's like in the heat of the moment. But what nobody's talking about, and I'm pretty sure you're very familiar with this, is the genius of Bill Belichick. And we give credit to players when they go out there and they overexceed expectations. Belichick and his coaching staff have been doing that time and time again. So, yeah, we might be surprised that Brady's out. Okay, Jimmy G comes in. He gets a couple of wins. Brissett comes in. Julian Edelman is the backup, apparently, right? But they're not surprised. This is something that they have worked on. This is something that they have talked about over the summer. This exact situation where, to us on the outside looking in, seems like the house is on fire. They're calm on the inside because they know where their extinguisher is at. So we got to give credit to the Patriots organization and for what they stand for, which is they can take the most unknown name and make him a household name like that. So, yeah, Houston Texans are fantastic. Defense is good. J.J. Watt has a back, but he's still getting sacks. Jadeveon Clowney is healthy. They're going to put pressure on him. They're going to make a young guy try to look like a young guy. Offense side of the ball, Brock is looking good. Will Fuller started off on fire.
Yeah.
Deandre Hopkins could be the best in the game. But with all that said, you cannot bet against the Patriots. They are fantastic at game planning. And I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. It's chess, not checkers.
Oh,
it's not just
shit.
about highlights.
Oh,
You
shit.
feel me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, shout out to
It's
Denzel
chess,
training
not
day. You know what I'm saying? My man.
Well, you mentioned Julian as the backup quarterback. Were you ever in a situation like that where you were the like emergency quarterback?
No, I wish I could like show you my other shoulder, but my other shoulder basically looks like this. So like I got this lump on my shoulder because I have no ligaments in either of my shoulders.
Okay,
So
what?
I remember Coach Linehan. I got shoulder separation. How Jimmy G got hurt? That's what happened to me,
gosh.
which is why I got these lumps. So
Ew.
Scott Linehan, he was like, "All right, Nate, you're my guy. I got this special plan for you. We're gonna do a wide receiver reverse, and I'm gonna throw it to Calvin Johnson." And we ran this play every week, and I didn't complete not one throw to Calvin.
Well, to be
so it was
fair,
a running
Calvin
joke.
was a really bad receiver. He
Yeah.
just caught the
But
Never
pass.
could get over it.
Yeah,
Couldn't run around, so he
everyone
wasn't
knew
fast.
that. That was the
But
running
no, basically, to
storyline.
answer your question, I'm a terrible, terrible quarterback. I can't throw the ball. But, if I got in the game at quarterback, it wouldn't be a good look. But in this situation, Julian with the history,
Yeah,
and,
he'll be fine.
and the
But
guy's
so
good.
what you said, what happened to your shoulder is exactly what happened to Jimmy G.
exactly what happened.
How long did it take you to be perfect again?
And that's his throwing arm, which is tough. He's not going to be healthy. He's not going to be 100% for, I would say, about a month. 6 weeks he'll be healthy, but he's still going to feel it. I mean, there's going to have to be some type of, I don't want to call it pain medication, but he's going to have to do something to kind of deal with the inflammation and the pain. But it's a tough injury, man. I dealt with it, and I was a receiver, and I still feel it to this day.
Oh wow, that's promising.
Yeah, well, I'm just keeping it real. That's what we do, right?
Shit, Jimmy G, he looked so good.
He did. He looked great.
so
he looked
good.
Did he look good, or was the game plan
I
fantastic?
don't know. So I saw people saying like, "Oh, this is proof that Tom Brady's not even that great. He's just a system quarterback."
Oh, whoa.
I know.
Who said that?
People on Twitter. So it's probably an egg.
Yeah, you're right.
Probably
you're
nobody
right.
that matters. But on the other side of the ball, you kind of mentioned this. DeAndre Hopkins has been the go-to guy for a while, but Will Fuller's been doing really well. If that's you in that situation, you're the go-to and a rookie comes in, do you feel threatened by him, or are you more like, I'm mentoring this kid?
No, not at all. When you're established like DeAndre Hopkins you're comfortable within your own skin as a number one. I can't speak for like a true number one because I was only that like twice in my career. But I lived as a number two. I made my name as a number two. I thrived in being the Robin to Calvin Johnson's Batman and being sidekick to Randy Moss. And I identify with these guys. I identify with Will Fuller and Mohamed Sanu, some of these number twos that all of a sudden are becoming household names. Willie Snead down in New Orleans. And the reason I like them so much is because the number one guy is going to get number one talent on him every game. You're going to get the number one cornerback. The Will Fullers, Sanu's, Willie Sneads, those number twos and threes, those guys are going to face second tier, third tier, even fourth tier cornerbacks. And you got to understand, it's different being a fourth tier or third tier cornerback than it is being a third tier or fourth tier wide receiver. All wide receivers feel like the man. Like we all got these like complexes that we are Batman. Like, we're all Michael Jackson. We're never Tito. And when it comes to DBs, you can't all be Revis. You can't all be Patrick Peterson or Richard Sherman. If you're number 2 or 3, you're number 2 or 3. So Will Fuller's walking into each game saying, I'm facing a guy who might be my age, might even be older, but you're second tier.
Yeah.
I'm first tier in my mind, which is why he's going off.
That's interesting. I'm always like third tier in my mind.
No, you're not.
Like the power rankings of these people, I'm third. I'm fine with that because I set the bar low and then I exceed it.
You over exceed expectations.
That's it. You under promise, over deliver. Is
right.
that what
so you can get the pats on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
But you
then
knew
people
it
are
was
like,
coming.
well, I thought you were gonna suck and you weren't that bad. All right, Ford, you got to make a pick and we'll move on to the next game.
I do. I'm gonna go with Houston. Sorry,
Okay.
Katie. This is the third week in a row I've picked against the Pats, so
That's okay, I
I'm
have
gonna
to.
stick to what's not working, I guess. But yeah, I think that defense is gonna give a rookie quarterback a tough time.
Give him fits, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I keep picking against New England and it's not working, and so I'm going New England plus
Nice.
1.
Good.
I'm just
Good.
based on nothing.
Getting points at home.
All right,
Makes
So you
second
could
game.
have said based on me.
Based on Nate's no, because would that get you in trouble?
I just poured my heart out to you.
Yeah.
And gave you the speech.
Based on Nate's expertise,
Okay,
I'm going to
thank
say
you.
New England plus 1.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Okay, second
Good
game.
adjustment. All right, our second game, the Vikings, one of Nate's former teams,
Yeah.
at the Panthers. The Panthers are favored by 7. Obviously, tough week, Minnesota, right?
Tough
Adrian
month, huh?
Peter, yeah.
Yeah.
So we lost Teddy Bridgewater, traded 2 picks for Sam Bradford, which is tough in itself, and now they're down Adrian Peterson. So, like, what are they going to do? They have a tough opponent this week.
Well, what we do know is Sam looked good, right? Right out the
did.
gate.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, he's balling.
Love him.
This guy's leading the league.
Yeah.
As a
He's on my
receiver
fantasy
right
team.
now.
He's on
There
my
you go.
fantasy team.
Points,
Very
fantasy
nice.
alert.
Yeah.
Was on the show.
You know what I can tell you about people that are frustrated with the loss of Adrian Peterson is, unfortunately, he wasn't a huge part of his offense these first couple weeks. He was still trying to catch his rhythm, and they were able to get victories. So is that going to stop them from being productive? No, but is that enough to convince me that they'll beat the Panthers? I'm not sure. The Panthers, they're a fantastic squad to me. And, with Kelvin Benjamin back and looking like Cam's favorite target along with all the pieces they already had in that defense, we've seen Sam Bradford get comfortable and light the game up, but then we've seen times where when you put pressure on him, I wouldn't call him falling apart, but he unravels just a little bit. And I think that might be the game plan, is that Panthers defense is known as keep pounding. They're going to keep pounding until they break Sam Bradford a little bit.
Probably literally.
Yeah, they're trying to break
Sam
him.
Bradford, but he'll somehow find a way to still make like $100 million.
He's paid. He's paid. He's a
what
baller.
he does. That's what he does. So Kelvin Benjamin was out, came back, and people were kind of talking about how they were struggling to get back into the rhythm, but they seem like they're finding it. How quickly does that come back, the quarterback wide receiver chemistry that you have after you've been out?
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. I tore my ACL in 2008, and I remember spending all summer trying to get my own rhythm back, trying to run routes. And then I got back on the field, and then I started to connect with Matt Hasselbeck like I never left. And once you go down, they say that your knee comes back stronger than ever. As a player, you don't feel it. It's all the mental hurdle, so you feel like your knee is still jacked up. But I think what was good for Kelvin Benjamin, he came back to a team where the quarterback is probably the most player-friendly. He's not separated in any sense from his squad. So he realized being smart, being a guy that's very intelligent, very cerebral about his approach in Cam Newton, is that I need to feed this guy to get his confidence up. Because we didn't see much in the offseason. We didn't see much in the preseason. But Cam knew it's just like a shooting guard. Let me feed him until he gets his rhythm. And now Kelvin Benjamin got his rhythm. And he's one of the best red zone targets there is. I mean, you look at all the balls that he catches. He's already tall. But then Cam Newton places the ball, I say it all the time on the show, is helmet or higher, which if Kelvin Benjamin is already tall, and then you throw it helmet or higher, he's literally throwing it in a place that only his receiver can get. Like, we talk about it, but he's literally doing that. So that type of combination is unstoppable.
Yeah. What about Adrian Peterson? Do you think he's going to play? Like, people are saying he's not going to play in Minnesota ever again. He's going to be 32 next year. Does he play somewhere else?
$18 million.
I've heard once that Father Time is undefeated. And as good as Adrian Peterson has been in this league, it's hard for me to come up with some type of logic that tells me he'll come back and be the best running back in the game. Can he come back and be good? Yeah, for sure. Damn right. I mean, his resume speaks of that. But with age, with injury, with time missed on the field, with muscle definition loss and then having to be regained at a position where all that has to work in unison, I don't believe he's going to be the same. I don't think he's going to be in a different jersey. I think the relationship between the organization is too strong. And when you have a fantastic player like that, you want to keep him there. Like, you'd rather have Barry Sanders retire early as a Lion than leave somewhere else, similar with AP. Like, you'd rather him retire an older AP, and not as good AP, down the line than let him go because he wants to prove that he still can play.
When you lose a star player or multiple stars like
Multiple
the Vikings
stars,
have,
yeah.
does the locker room feel that? Do you guys are they motivated? Like, we got to go out there and we all get a shot now because we don't have anybody left.
We got to do it for our boys, like a movie, right?
Yeah.
No,
Like, is
feel
that
it?
real?
Like, yeah, it's real. The reports I heard initially when Bridgewater went down, it's like guys were crying on the field. And that's intense. I mean, some were saying they were crying because the injury was nasty. Others were crying because they were disappointed that their franchise quarterback went down. But at some point, you got to look in the mirror and just figure out where the resilience comes from. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but the injury rate in the NFL is 100%. It's inevitable. You know what's going to happen. So just like Coach said, Zimmer came out and was like, man, it is what it is. Like, you know, I think he said, I don't want to misquote him, but my mother passed, and then I went back to work. And that's as raw as it gets right there. You know, most guys, you know, a death in their family means they're separated from work mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And I've always been the type, because you can't cry over spilled milk. You just wipe it up and you keep moving. And that's what it is with this injury and the injury previous, Bridgewater and Peterson. It's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? You got to man up. You got to figure out the season. Do you want to start booking your vacations now? Or do you want to try to make that run? Do you want to try to make that run to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm just going to book a vacation because I don't think my chances in the Super Bowl are good. Just me personally. I'm going to book my vacation.
I hear you.
All right, Ford, what are you picking?
I think I'm going to take the Panthers. I think they're a little underrated after their Week 1 loss. I think the people are a little down on them. Feels like they could win this one pretty big.
Yeah, I don't want to pick the same thing as you all the time, but I wrote Panthers, so I have to say it.
Nice.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
rule.
pick Panthers -7 because of what Nate said. Because Nate's
There you
so
go.
smart.
There you go. See,
Am I doing
you're
good?
listening. You're doing
Okay.
good.
All
I'll
right.
pay you later.
Okay, guys, more with Nate in just a minute. But first, producer Matt and I want to tell you about the Black Tux. Do you, listener, have a wedding or special event coming up and need a tux now, like immediately, because you waited till the last second? Well, don't panic. The Black Tux designs modern fit suit and tuxedo rentals that deliver straight to your door. And now the Black Tux will give you a free home try-on so you can see the fit and feel the quality of their suits before your event. The best part, you can do it all online. You don't have to go to a person or probably talk to anyone. You can choose your own look at their website, theblacktux.com. Prices start at just $95, which is
a good deal.
amazing.
Yep.
A lot of tux rentals cost hundreds of dollars, and you have to go talk to weird people 3 different times with all these appointments. You're too busy for that. You're too busy. You hardly have time to listen to this podcast.
That's right.
And you got stuff and you got homework. I'm assuming they're young.
Yeah, probably.
It's just a waste of your time, so don't bother. You don't have to do that with the Black Tux. And their suits are designed with fine Italian wool, which, as we've said before, bitches love fine Italian wool. And it's the highest quality on the rental market. Their expert customer care team always available to answer any questions. And also, speaking of questions, I have one. Producer Matt,
Hit me.
Are you using the Black Tux?
I sure am. I'm going to a wedding in 2 weeks, and I'm supposed to be getting my tux any day. I'm very excited. They helped me pick out a look. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It comes with everything.
We're
like the
gonna get
shoes,
to
the
see
bow
it.
ties.
Because you, to recap, offered
Yeah, boy.
last
Yeah.
time on
Well-
this podcast, you offered to wear your Black Tux here for the podcast.
Well,
Which
it
I
is
was
getting
like, I don't
shipped
know,
here.
that's a little weird. I don't think people are going to want it. But you were like, no, I insist.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we don't have a guest that day
Yeah.
to explain that.
No, let's
but
hope we do.
It's getting shipped here, so I'll try it on here.
And then wear
That's
it
a
for the
true
rest
thing.
of the day is what you said before. I know. And again,
We'll
I
see.
think that's a really weird thing, but you really want to do it. So
Yeah.
we're all going to have to deal with that.
Very excited about
All right,
that.
guys, visit theblacktux.com/garbage and experience a new way to rent. Blacktux.com/garbage. And big ups to producer Matt for wearing a tux. Also, guys,
what I can.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. proudly supports the Garbage Time podcast. Rocket Mortgage brings the mortgage approval process into the 21st century, which it's about damn time. We've all been waiting for this. Fast, powerful, and completely online, Rocket Mortgage has taken all the complicated, time-consuming parts of applying for a mortgage out of the equation. Do you hate searching through stacks of old files and paperwork? I mean, who doesn't?
No, I love doing that.
Yeah, think of the paper cuts.
Come on.
If you're digging through paperwork and then you have to go cook food, you're definitely getting salt in a wound, and then your day is just gone to shit.
It's over.
With Rocket Mortgage, you can easily share your bank statements and pay stubs at the touch of a button, helping you get approved in minutes. Approved in minutes for a custom mortgage solution that's been tailored to your unique financial situation. Even better, with Rocket Mortgage, you can do all of this on your phone or tablet. As I'm reading, I'm getting so jealous because this is not how I got my mortgage. It included a lot of paper, and I couldn't do it on a tablet at all. That guy barely even knew how to use a phone. So this is revolutionary and amazing. It's a quick online process you can manage from the convenience of your couch. If you're looking to refinance your mortgage or buy a home, check out Rocket Mortgage today at quickenloans.com/garbagetime. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030. All right, guys, back to the pod with Nate Burleson.
Last game, Washington at the New York Giants. Giants favored by 4.5.
Ooh.
Wonder what the big story is here.
What is the
Odell
big story?
Beckham and Josh Norman. They seem to not like each other that much.
It's a little spicy, huh?
Little
Getting a little
bit.
testy.
A little bit.
Who's got the upper hand there between the two of them?
The upper hand goes to the Giants wide receiving group. It's not necessarily Odell Beckham. See, everybody's thinking this is Josh Norman versus Odell. First of all, Josh isn't going to match up against Odell every single play, which means he's going to face Victor Cruz, who last week had some choice words for him, and Josh fired back. And then they got this young guy, Sterling Shepard, who is good, acts like a vet, plays like a vet. And on top of that, he's a young guy. And I said on the show, they're not going to send him out like a pitcher pegging a hitter in retaliation in a baseball game, but they will send him out saying, hey, I need you to go out there and be as feisty as you can be in the running game against Odell. I'm talking about get on his nerves, because guess what? Odell's going to try to do that to all the receivers. Josh Norman.
Yeah.
So Sterling Shepard is going to go out there. He's going to do whatever he can to get on the skin of Josh Norman. And that's where the game is really going to take shape. Everybody's thinking, oh, I gotta wait to see for a ball to be in the air and them two compete for it. Nah, it's much deeper than that. Like when the running plays are on, pay attention to what Josh Norman is doing and who's on him and how aggressively they're blocking him. That's where the kind of scuffles are going to outbreak, and I'm looking forward to it. The upper hand goes to the Giants right now because in this matchup, wide receiver versus DB, Josh Norman's outnumbered. It's 3 versus 1, right?
And it's also what you're saying before in the wide receivers' mind. They're all the number one receiver.
Exactly.
And then he's, maybe third, fourth.
See, I see you listening.
I take notes.
Take notes,
with my brain.
mental notes.
How common is the trash talk between wide receivers and cornerbacks? Is it like when you're actually out there, aren't you tired? I'm not gonna be like, I'm better than you, bro. Like I just catch your, it's like when people go for runs together and talk to each other. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
It's like interviewing the Olympic racers after they run.
Right.
It worked out hard all summer. It was great. No,
are you really yelling at each other?
No, we are. Yeah. For me, I didn't talk initially, but if you said something to me, it could be the littlest thing. If you said something to me, it was frustrating, especially if you were younger than me. If you were younger than me, I hated that with a passion. It's not like I'm old school, like, rookies got to shut up. But show me some respect. My resume speaks differently than yours. And I think that's where Josh and Odell kind of get into it, because Josh feels like he's a little bit older. He's saying, like, look, young fella, just pipe down. Like, I've been here. I've been doing this. You just got here. And Odell's saying, nah, I might have just got here, but I'm one of the best in the business. But the trash talk is real, and I love it. Like, it's cool to be friends after the game, before the game. But once you get in between those white lines, like, this is a very competitive, it's very nasty. This is one of the most explosive, high-intensity, entertaining sports there is. So along with the actual highlights and the game plan, like, I want to see some guys that genuinely have a dislike for each other. Okay, scratch that. Not even a dislike. That genuinely want to win more than the other one.
Yeah.
And if you're out there doing that naturally, then it's going to spill over.
Right.
It's going to spill over something nasty. If you're docile and you're just going through the motions, then how much do you really want it? Like, you feel me? Like, if I drop a ball and you're in my face and I just walk away, do I really care about the drop ball?
Right.
Am I thinking about what I'm having for dinner? Like, I should be focused on the moment. Like, I should be pissed off. And if you make a play on me, that should make me more upset than anything in that moment. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love that these guys are getting into it, and I love that the whole world gets to hear it. And I can appreciate the fact that they're being casual about it, very cavalier, complimenting each other. But really, that's just for the crowd. That's just for the media. It's going to get nasty on game day, and I can't wait.
Just like go at each other.
Just go at it, man. Old school football.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. What's up with Kirk Cousins, Nate?
He's stressing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm a hip hop fan, and Biggie said it. More money, more problems.
He got so much more money. He like got 300% raise from what he made last
Here's the
year.
thing. So there's so many levels to that statement because he got more money, but did he really get more money? Because they're basically renting him, right? So
wow.
like, yeah, you got the
So
money, so it's
insightful.
hanging over your head. You're like, okay, I got paid, but really I want a long-term deal. But they didn't give me a long-term
And
deal.
also his coach comes out and is like, he's still got to show me some stuff. I haven't seen enough yet. It's
So
like really
what is that
pressured.
saying to your quarterback? The quarterback's like, well, they don't really think I'm the guy for the future.
Yeah.
So I got to press this season. I really got to have a big year because everything's on me. I'm betting on me. They're betting that I'm not going to be as good as they would hope, or else they would have paid me. Because if they really thought he was going to be amazing, they would just cut the check for the long term. So really they're saying he might not play that good, which means next year we can get him for cheaper. He's thinking about this. All players think about this. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly why there's been some issues. I feel like there's been some throws he didn't make, and when the receivers start talking, and then the team starts talking, there's a little bit of a dissension in between your faith in the quarterback. That's when problems start to arise. So, like I said, more money, more problems.
He looks like he's overthinking it. You're a Redskins fan, so maybe
Yes.
you have like more insight on what you think. But he just looks like
Yeah.
he's just in his own head.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And they throw the ball too much, right? Like they don't have any balance, so I
Right.
feel like they're putting so much
And you
pressure
would think
on
they
them.
would have had balance. I mean, I like the running back core. They did lose Alvin Morris.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bad, loss for them.
Yeah, especially last week, game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
But he was so cute before the game,
I know,
like
he's the
hugging
best.
his. When you must have played your former teams once you went to another team.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
like hug them? Like you were just saying, you want people who want to win and who want to be angry at each other on the field.
No, I dap them up, but I remember one
That's a
time
cooler version of a hug for
that's
those that
what
don't
it is.
understand.
It's the black guy hug. I dapped them up. No, I remember playing a former teammate of mine. This is when I turned the switch because I was still friendly when I played on former teams. Like, oh, my boys. We were in the preseason one time. This guy, Oliver Celestine, played for the Jets, and I played with him previous in the team that we were on before at Seattle. Came to play in the preseason. I get hit by a linebacker, and I'm still trying to stay up. He plays safety. And I'm like fighting for extra yards. And in my head, I'm like, Nate, go down. But then I'm like, I'm going to stay up because I like fighting for extra yards. So I see him. I mean, he's hauling ass. And I'm thinking, this dude's about to light me up. But I'm like, this is my boy, Oliver. Like, Oliver knows me. He's going to let up at the end. And as he's closing, I realize, damn, this dude's not slowing down. And he hit me. I'm talking about lit me up. Boom! I hit the ground. I'm like, damn. That was a hard hit, right? But I'm on my back, and I'm thinking, all right, this all this stuff's going through. All right, he's about to help me up, and then I get to say good hit, like homies do. And like he grabbed my shoulder pads, and he's kind of like jacking me up on the ground. He's like, "Yeah, don't ever come across the middle again." And I'm like, "It's me, baby! Like, wake up, man! I felt so defensive. I was like, "Me, it's me, baby! Like, look at me!" And he was just glazed over, like didn't say anything, and it just kind of like all game I was tripping, like. Man, that was really weird. That was really weird. And then the fourth quarter came around, and it was like the most pressing thought on my mind. Like, I got to go talk to this dude to really see what happened. So I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, what's up, baby? Like, that hit in the first, I was kind of crazy. Like, it's me, baby. And he's like, and I was like, oh, man, Nate, you know me. When I'm on the field, it is what it is. And it was like, but we still dapped each other up. But I never forgot what he said, though.
Yeah.
It was like, that's what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Like why should he show me love? Because we're boys off the field, because we texting all season. So like I kind of grew up in that moment. Like you get between these lines, yeah, you could be friends, but we're not friendly. Yeah.
That's interesting. A good story.
Wow.
Nothing to do with the game though, so we gotta make that pick now.
I'm glad that doesn't happen in our office.
Yeah, right.
We don't randomly hit each other. I'm going to pick my own stupid team, the Redskins. I don't know why. I want them to turn it around.
Okay.
Feels like the week.
Sometimes you
Maybe
just gotta
Josh
pick your
Norman
team.
will show up.
Yeah, I'm
Ripper
gonna
Shaw
go.
Breland.
I'm going Giants -4.5. I also don't know why. I think it's because Nate's story was so good.
Yeah, I'm
and
just
the whole
thinking about
time
that.
I was like, wow, he's like a giant. And then I'm like, oh,
See,
I should pick
Giant,
the
there you
Giant.
go, boom.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So those are the 3 games. Real quick, my lock of the week this week is the Cardinals -4 against the Bills. I just think that's good that they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, we have a couple other just quick questions of stuff I want to know because
Okay.
I just want to pick your brain forever.
Okay.
I could listen
Do I
to you
need to
tell
be quick
stories like
on these
never.
answers?
No, I mean, if you want to.
Okay.
They're just not related to any real games.
Okay.
The Packers, well, I guess they kind of are. The Packers are playing the Lions, one of your former teams, this week.
Yep.
What do you think's going on with Aaron Rodgers this year?
Oh.
He doesn't look great.
I saw him at his locker today, and he looked like he was irritated by the questions. I think that's another guy that's pressing it, but also has to do with the receiving core. We credit Jordy as being one of the most consistent receivers before he got hurt. And now he's back. We all assumed that everything was going to go back to normal. Oh, Jordy's back. Randall Cobb goes back in the slot. Devontae Adams emerges. Now this offense takes shape. Eddie Lacy lost a little weight, but it's not that easy. And as hot as they were, as much as they were in sync years previous to Jordy getting hurt, I'm not saying the run is over. I'm just saying teams have adjusted. So it's just like anything that happens in the league. It takes a while for people to kind of get on track and figure out not a way to stop it. You can't stop the Packers, but you can slow them down a lot easier than before. So I just feel like teams kind of got to figure it out, and they have to do something new. They got to figure out a new wrinkle into their offense. I think they need to utilize a lot more motions at the line of scrimmage, maybe even some bunch formations. Put the receivers in a position where they can not only identify the defense, but they can run free off the line of scrimmage. Because what you're seeing now is defenses just getting up and they're pressing everybody and saying, you guys are going to have to beat us with speed and aggressiveness at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Rodgers is an accurate quarterback, but if he drops back, he looks at Jordy, and he's fighting with somebody. And you look at Randall Cobb in the slot, he's fighting with the nickelback, and then you look over at Devontae, and he's getting jammed up.
Yeah.
Where's he going to go with the ball?
Yeah.
Now Aaron's sitting back there doing this, and he has to be amazing. And how many games are you going to ask Aaron Rodgers to be amazing?
All the time.
All the time.
Every
you're
game.
right.
Yeah.
I
You're
would
right
like him
about
to be amazing every game.
Yeah, for sure.
A new poll says Colin Kaepernick is the most hated player in the league, which is interesting. If you were his teammate, if you're in the locker room with him, what advice are you giving him at this? I mean, this is tough. It's not going away.
No, I wouldn't give him any advice. I would just continue to encourage that he stands for what he believes in, because at this point, if you do the opposite, you're just falling to the criticism and the hate. You hear his jersey sales went up, and people will keep saying that, but I think that's just a side story to what the real issues are. Over the last couple of days, I think there's 2 more deaths. Terrence Crutcher, who had his hands up and got shot by the police. So Colin Kaepernick is saying, listen, from the very beginning, I didn't do this for me. It was a private protest, and all I was asking is for this nation to be greater. It should be better. It should do more. Hold each other, the police, everybody to a higher, sense of accountability and a standard that we're all held to. And, like I said before, if we just look around, he's saying something that we all should say more often. And the application is to him and to me, because we're black and we identify with issues going on in the black community, but it doesn't matter what color you are. Like, somebody tweeted me today and said, there's cops that kill white people. And I said, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
There's black on black crime. Yeah, that's a problem. There's white on white. Yeah, that's a problem. They're all problems.
You can talk about one without ignoring all the others.
Yeah, Colin is saying we need to be better as a nation. Like, that is the salute and the freedom of us kneeling down for the flag. Is saying we all need to be better. And what's wrong with a guy saying, I need to talk about what I identify with in my community. And people always want to, shift and pivot. Colin's just talking about what he's talking about. And, I know you guys have heard it, but I'll repeat it because it's simple, but it says a lot. Just because we say Black Lives Matter, it doesn't mean that other lives don't. It's just what we see and what we hear about, because we're in the black community. And these guys that are in the league, some of us grew up in that and been through that. So it touches them deeper. And I think it's powerful for Colin to look in the mirror and say, I can't sit here with all this money in the bank and, living in the suburbs, playing a great game that people will give their right leg for, and ignore stuff that's going on in my community, when most athletes do. So I would just sit back and say, just keep standing until you get the results you want, till you see a change. then just keep standing for what you believe in.
Or kneeling.
Or kneeling.
Or sitting.
Or
laying down.
Or whatever it
is you feel like
means
doing.
to give the message, yeah.
In that same vein of, sports mattering more than what just happens on the field between the white lines, as you say, Darren Sharper nominated for the Hall of Fame. It's a tough subject. I'm not an athlete, so my first thought is that I don't understand why that's even a conversation. As an athlete, I mean, when we talk about Hall of Fame nominations, how do you feel about, they say you're not supposed to take off the field stuff into consideration. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that makes sense? Do you think you should look at a person as a whole?
Yeah, that's tough. I play with Darren Sharper. It's crazy. It's crazy because you look at all Hall of Famers and not every guy has a clean resume. And we talk about accomplishments on the field. And if that's the degree in which you kind of measure somebody's success for a Hall of Fame nod, then you got to take it as is. Like, I didn't write the rules. People that are complaining about it, you didn't write the rules. Talking about what he did off the field is a completely different conversation. And I think we all agree and have the same idea of how wrong that was. And how wrong he is. But what he did on the field, he was a winner. If you want to call him a loser off it, that's separate. But you're just talking football. If this is a football conversation, man was a hell of a football player.
Yeah. Do you ever think that maybe it'll become more than just a football conversation? Because if people, if we're talking and listening to athletes and giving them this platform and then we put them in the Hall of Fame, it's sort of like you can do this awful thing and we'll still applaud you and honor you.
Yeah, no, I think it's happened before. It's happened with, different sports, people that are still sitting on the outside looking in. Pete Rose is a guy that pops in my head. Some of his off the field issues or off the diamond issues has, stopped him from being in the Hall of Fame. But that's it's the world we live in. Who was it? Trevor Noah. I saw him doing a stand-up one time, and he was talking about how United States, they love their sports. He kept saying, it's amazing how you guys love your sports and you hold these athletes up to such high regard. And sometimes we ignore, some things that athletes do. But it's not just athletes, celebrities too, But that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
That's a conversation in itself.
Complicated.
It's complicated, yeah.
Sometimes easier to just talk about fun stuff. So let's turn to some fun stuff. Who's your favorite wide receiver right now to watch in the league?
Antonio Brown.
Why? Pick somebody different than that.
Okay, Willie
obviously
Snead.
Antonio Brown.
Snead. No,
I love Willie Snead.
I love Willie Snead. Just because he's unknown. He almost had 1,000 yards last year, and he's the next superstar in the league. No, I'll say Antonio Brown. I know it's the common pick, but let me tell you why though, because he's not going to out-jump you every time. He most likely won't majority of the time. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He has a combination of catching with his hands and catching with his body. But what he does are just these subtleties that are so beautiful when you know the game is his body positioning. If you watch him on a route, he'll place himself in between the ball and the defender in a way that's as smooth as any player I've ever seen do it. And that's something that it's taught, but it's rarely learned. And I see him pick it up, and he does it just flawlessly. So that's why I like Antonio Brown. It's not just because he does highlights and he twerks in his zone. No, my man he's an artist out there. He's an artist, and for me, a guy who loves poetry, and I love to write. It's like you take a blank piece of paper and then you just create something. That's what Antonio does. Every play is a blank piece of paper, and then you get him out there on the field, and he's just drawing a piece of beauty when Ben throws it up. So
that was beautiful what you just
I love
said
Antonio, man. I love Antonio.
Man.
I'm a big fan.
There's the reason to take him first in your fantasy draft because he's
Antonio's
I just
drawing.
think it's working, so.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Kind of on the flip side of that, is there a wide receiver out there now that you think everyone's really hyped on that's kind of overrated?
Nah, that's tough to say. I think every guy is well deserved. I think in Seattle, people give Doug Baldwin a tough time. He just got paid. And they say, oh, he doesn't put up crazy numbers. But the guy had 14 touchdowns last year. He's tied for a league lead. So that's a guy who at some called, a handful of years ago, pedestrian. But he's proved to be more than that. In this league now, in order for you to be a common name, you've had to put up numbers. So most guys are productive. And I say that sincerely. But even if there was a guy gotta keep it real with you. I probably wouldn't tell you anyway because I'm too much of a
I know,
fraternity
too
man.
nice.
Like I love my
No,
guys.
everybody's so good. You ask me who on this staff sucks, I'll name 3 people right now. I'm just kidding. 3 people don't work here. Last question on Good Morning Football. I just have to. You said that Matt Stafford is, quote, the most clutch quarterback under 30.
Right.
Cam,
Okay,
Russell, Luck.
Right. Okay.
You're going Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
First game of the season
Yeah.
comes down to the final drives. 37 seconds left. There's no way Detroit Lions gonna win this game. There's no way. Guess what? There's a way with Matt Stafford. And that was no, I'm trying to sell it to you. No, listen. Here's the thing.
It's working.
Those other
It's a
quarterbacks
hot
are great.
take.
Those other quarterbacks are fantastic. And when we're picking players for a segment like that, guys come off the board. And I'm casual.
I get it.
I'm casual
I
because
get
I
it.
know I can make an argument for any guy. Only reason I'm very passionate about Matt Stafford is because when we got in the huddle and stuff looked bad. I was gonna say another word.
You can say shit look bad.
Okay, well, yeah, shit did look bad. And Stafford got in the huddle and he's like, "Look, man, this is it. Like, forget the crowd, forget the noise, forget the game. Let's go win this." And I know every quarterback says that, but then we go out there and there's no wavering in his demeanor. Eye contact is straight. It's like the movie 300. Remember when he was sitting on the knee right before he threw? He's talking to himself. That's how Matt Stafford was. And I remember we playing Dallas.
praise.
We get down to the red zone. We're inside the 5. I think on the 1. Coach is like, call a timeout, run a different play. And Matt looks around like, I'm straight. Takes a snap and just dives over the top. Scores a touchdown. Like, that's like movie script stuff. It's like Varsity Blues, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I remember thinking to myself, like, that took some nuts. Like, that took some moxie for a young quarterback to wave off the coach's instructions saying, I see a gap right here. I'm about to hurry up, snap this ball, dive it over the top. And we won the game like that. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that are clutch. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are fantastic in fourth quarters. But a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't take the game into their own hands like Matt did. So I had to give him credit for that.
You mentioned movies there, 300, Varsity Blues. The movie I think of when I think of Matt Stafford is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I have a theory that he's aging backwards. Every time I
getting
see him,
younger.
he looks more like a baby.
Yeah, he looks like he does. Yeah, Gerber baby face.
You can confirm
Yeah,
that
for
he's
sure.
turning slowly before our eyes into
he
a
has
small
big
baby
cheeks.
man.
Yeah, he looks like a child.
He's
he
like,
does.
moo moo gaga,
Yeah.
jumps the ball over into
He
the end
does.
zone.
He
Yeah,
really does.
as long as, okay, good.
He has no mustache. It's weird. Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird.
that's my guy though, Matt Stafford.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's a good
cool.
dude, man. He's a country
He's
boy.
fun.
He's a country boy from Texas. Went to Georgia, came in and like with all the money and the hype, all he want to do is play ball. I remember because I used to give, as you can tell, I love to talk. So I used to give these pregame speeches, and they would all come.
No.
No, man. And I would all come off the top of the head. And Matt was like, "Man, that's crazy, bro. Like, how could you not write this stuff down and come up with something like that?" I was like, "Man, you could do it. Like, I mean, you're the starting quarterback." Like, he's like, "No. Like, I'm comfortable in my helmet." He's like, "All I want to do is play ball." I like hearing that.
He doesn't want to talk. He just
Doesn't wanna
wants to
talk.
play ball. And it's because he's learning how
It's
to
just like
speak because
Marshawn
he's
said.
a baby.
Yeah, because he's a baby. You're
Yeah,
right. He
right.
says terrible twos.
Yeah, exactly. What did Marshawn say?
I'm all about that action, boss.
Oh.
Duh.
Do we have a junk mail
We
question?
do, yeah.
Junk mail, okay.
It's a question from a guy named @SteakTipsDude.
I bet.
Steak tips?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, steak tips. Those are pretty good.
Steak
Yeah,
tips, dude.
shout
All
out.
right.
What's the
Steak
difference between
tips.
steak tips and brisket? Is that completely
You'll have to ask
One
the
is
dude.
the quarterback of the Patriots, and one is the steak tip.
Okay.
Jacoby Brisket, right? That's
yeah,
that person.
Jacoby Brisket.
See
Yeah.
what you did there.
Yeah,
That was good.
That's good. Thank you.
He wants
Thank
to know
you.
what your guys' favorite New York restaurants are.
McDonald's. It's a small place. It's located on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You don't
Do you have
know?
a favorite New York restaurant already?
Well, first of all, I just moved out here like 7 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Right.
God,
So where are you
steak
gonna
There's
go?
a
tips,
place.
dude.
There's a place in Bridgewater. I'm not Bridgewater.
That's the quarterback
Edgewater,
of the.
yeah.
Yep.
Thinking football. There's a place in Edgewater, New Jersey, and I stay over in that area called Brownstone Bakery, and they serve.
Oh, the pancakes place?
Yeah, you know what? Your eyes
That's
just. I haven't
weird.
seen you this excited all
I
day.
know. If we're gonna talk pancakes, I'm in.
It's real.
Yeah,
It's
it's
real.
good. That
Yeah,
place is
I go with
good.
the French toast croissant blueberry. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah, it's
so
great. And they serve breakfast, lunch, dinner at all times of the day.
Oh my
Hey,
Yes.
You know about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I
all right.
live in Jersey. You're asking
Yeah, I
two
live in
people
Jersey
who
too.
live in
Yeah,
Jersey what
that's
their
right.
favorite
There
New
you
York
go.
restaurant is.
There we go.
Mine's whatever is
good.
close to the PATH station I have to come in through.
Acceptable.
I like all restaurants. I'm Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
That's
Completely
fantastic.
honest, Shake Shack.
So
I'm-
shake.
Yeah.
What shake are you going with?
well, I'm not really there for the shake. I'm there for the shack. No, I'm there for the burgers. I'm there for the sauce.
The sauce.
sauce and the buns on their
It's all
burgers.
about the sauce.
Oh my god, it's the
Yeah.
best.
I feel
Double
you.
shack burger, no lettuce,
Start
because
calling
it's
you
not a
Saucy.
fucking salad.
It's your new nickname,
Yeah.
Saucy.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna call me,
Yeah.
Saucy.
Yeah.
All right, I think that works
bad.
for me. I'm gonna call you Nate.
Okay. Thanks.
Nate, thank you for being here. This has been really fun.
problem.
You answered a lot of questions, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Guys,
for
that's
having me.
it for the Garbage Time Podcast. We're done here. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, where you can rate us and leave a comment, but only if it's 5 stars. And the comment is nice, because Nate said that if you leave a bad rating or a
Yeah.
mean comment, he's going to come beat you up.
That's facts.
Yeah, facts.
Facts.
You can also listen on SoundCloud, Art19. You can watch the video on youtube.com/Katie Nolan. You can listen to wherever it is you listen to podcasts. I hear if you pick up a seashell and you listen,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
right.
can hear it really
I've heard that
faintly in
too.
the background.
Yeah.
of
Oh, really?
Garbage
Yeah.
Time Podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Nate Burleson for being here. He's amazing. Of course, also thanks to producer Matt.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Nate.
Thanks to you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye. Love you. Mean it.